What is up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a impression. It's not a first impression, but it is like a true review and a test on a foundation. The eye tutorial is definitely a separate video if you want to see that, but this is technically a review on the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation, and I'm in the shade Vanilla 120B. Not sure what the B stands for, but I just know I'm the shade 120 in this foundation. I also got a little sample of the primer, but I'm also going to be mostly giving you guys a true wear test of this, giving you guys like the real tea on it, seeing how I think of it throughout the day, and of course how I think of it when I first apply it and everything like that. So if you'd like to see the real lowdown on the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation, then keep on watching. As you can see, I am completely bare-faced, except for this giant-ass pimple right here. I don't know what it is, but recently I've been breaking out in weird areas, like right here, inside my brow. Like I have one right here under my eye, it's sometimes on my nose, and then around my chin. It's just weird. I don't really get acne very much, but when it happens, it just happens in full force. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so let's just dive right into the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. I'm in the shade Vanilla 120B. I don't really know what that means, but it's just B. But anyway, so this is not my first time applying this foundation. I did a video on this, and I did an eye tutorial with that video, and it ruined the entire look. Like, literally, fallout all over my face. It just kind of ruined the look. And, of course, I didn't get a chance to give it a true wear test because I just took my makeup off. I was like, you know what? Scrape it. Let's try this again. So this is going to be my true wear test of this foundation as well. This is not a first impression of this foundation. But anyways, when you open up this packaging, as you can see, the packaging is actually really cute. I like the packaging of it. When you open it up, you're going to get this amazingly beautiful, like, ombre effect foundation. It's not glass, so it's great for travel if you want that plastic, just in case you want to travel with it. But I just kind of think for $40 you should kind of get the glass. But you know what? It's about the product, not about the packaging. Anyways, when you open up the box, you actually get a little sample of the Complexion Perfection Pre-Makeup Base. I'm really happy about that because she did come out with a primer with this foundation, and I did not have the money, and I did not want to spend $32 on a primer. So honestly, I'm happy that this came with it. So we are going to try out the primer. This is my first time, as you can see, it's not open. This is my first time trying the primer, but not the first time trying the foundation. So we're going to quickly put on the moisturizing makeup base before we get started with the foundation. Okay, so this primer smells just like the foundation. It is it's kind of more subtle than the foundation, but still, let me just put it on. With this primer, I'm getting very cinnamon apple perfume vibes from this right now. Like, I'm actually liking the way it smells, but it is definitely a different smell that I'm used to. So as I can feel from firsthand, the primer does feel a little tacky, so I'm not sure if I'm going to like that. But so far so good. I'm just going to let this dry really quickly before I apply the foundation. This foundation is definitely a little lighter than my face, but honestly it doesn't really matter to me because it still blends with my neck very nicely. So we're just going to go right in. So I just put like about a pump and a half on my hand. So now let's just get started with a beauty blender. Now before I do the other side, just look at that. Look how much coverage that is. Like, I actually really like the way that this feels. If you can see, I still see my redness peek through just a little bit, but not a whole lot, and I can actually cover that with just a little dab again. But honestly, I am obsessed and blown away about how much coverage this does give off with a beauty blender. So far, I'm still loving this foundation. Like I said, this is my second really true time trying this out, and I'm still loving the way that it's going on. I did use a different primer, but so far, so good. It looks about exactly the same. Is completely on, and I will have to say really quickly, because this did launch around the same time, well, a little after the Fenty foundation, I will have to say there are completely different textures. Now this one is 30 shades and the other one is 40 shades, so everybody is talking about that all over the internet right now, but this one definitely is more of a like kind of soft radiant matte, if that makes sense. Like, it does look a little fresh on the skin. It doesn't dry down completely like transfer proof matte, which I am really happy about because I am more drier in skin type. So I do like the way that this is going on. I do like the way that it feels on my skin. It doesn't really feel like I have anything on, but at the same time it's only slightly tacky, but I do set with a powder always. But so far I love the way that this texture is a lot more than the Fenty, just because I am more on the drier side. A little goes a long way. This thing is very, very pigmented, and I think that this has a lot of coverage right off the bat. But really quickly, I am going to go put on my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and then I'm going to set my face, and I will be right back. Now I am a complete blank canvas, a pasty blank canvas. I actually used the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder in Translucent Light. So now I'm going to kind of just give life back to my face. I'm going to go in for blush with this beautiful, beautiful Tarte Holiday Blush Bliss palette that's available at Ulta. And I'm going to use this shade right here, Genuine, which is genuinely my favorite blush color right now. So now to bronze up this face, I'm going to use the Benefit Huda bronzer.
It's delicious.
Going in with my Morphe Y14 damp brush and using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Press in a Lilac Geode. Look pop even more. Gonna go in with my trusty Rodeo Drive. Quickly look at my face. So far it looks still pretty damn good. It's still a little tacky right around here, but it's really not that big of an issue. I powdered my entire face and set my under eyes for my concealer and everything like that. But so far so good. It's really holding up very, very nicely. But I will give you guys a true check-in very, very soon. I'm gonna quickly go do a separate video for like an eye tutorial, and then I will be right back to give you guys a check-in, because that will probably take about an hour or so. So I'll be back in about an hour to give you guys my first check-in. So my entire look is done for my separate video, so now this is mostly just going to be talking about the foundation. The foundation has been on for 3 hours. I did not think it was going to take that long to film that video and have breaks, and film that video then have breaks. I didn't think it was going to take 3 hours. So it has now been 3 hours since I applied the foundation, and it still looks very, very nice. Where is my mirror? There we go. So far it's looking still pretty damn flawless. Right here I have a little bit of expression lines, right here around a little bit of expression lines, but really not that terrible. I get that all the time with every foundation. So for 3 hours it's still going on really strong. My eyes are completely done and I'm actually loving them. I have my lip on, I have my highlight and my contour on. It still looks really, really good. No separation yet. It still looks pretty good around my nose, which is shocking. So far so good. This is, like I said, this is just my first true wear test, and this is my first check-in. I will do another one in a little, maybe about 3 or 4 more hours. I'll do one more check-in, but from here on, I definitely think that this looks really good. Still looking really good. The coverage is still doing really good. It's not separating at all so far. So, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, so it is now 4:07 and this foundation has been on for about 8 hours. So I'm really happy about that, just because I am really happy that it did last for so long. Now, I really didn't do very much of anything today. I really just relaxed at home, ate something, and touched up my lipstick, and pretty much nothing. I mean, if I would have went to work, if I would have went out for a little while or something like that, that would have been different. But this is just me being lazy and doing a wear test for as long as I possibly can. This foundation actually was very nice. I feel like a little goes a long way with this foundation. It's very full coverage, but at the same time, it's so nice that it's a full coverage that doesn't feel too heavy. It's not too heavy, but it's not too lightweight, if that makes sense. It has like a really healthy middle ground to it, if that makes sense. This one's like a hydrating matte, if that makes sense. It has a little bit of luminosity to it, but it's very, very natural. So just by looking at my face already before I started filming, it did break apart around my nose, around my forehead a little bit, and around my chin area, which is very, very normal, but it still looks very flawless everywhere else. So honestly, I'm actually really loving that. So, really quickly as well, the fragrance of the foundation is very strong, but once you kind of get used to it, and once also it blends out, you don't really smell it anymore. Like, I cannot smell it at all. So, once you kind of let that subside for a little bit, then it's fine. The primer, since I only had a sample of it, the primer was actually not bad. The foundation did launch with a foundation, a primer, and a brush. Now, honestly, if you have your own tools that you use to put on your foundation, go right ahead. You really don't need to buy the brush. The primer was a little tacky. I didn't really like it because of that reason. It did stick the foundation really nicely on my face, but I have primers that I use all the time that I would rather use more than that one, if that makes sense. So, foundation alone, this foundation retails for $40, so it's a little bit higher up in price. Pretty much like a prestigious price. So, I mean, $40 is really not that terrible if you think about a really good foundation. So, $40 for this foundation. The only negative thing I have to say, though, is I wish that it was like a glass container, but plastic is okay, especially for traveling. I feel like the smell, it definitely is not too terrible, but at the same time, it's a little strong, but it's not too terrible in my personal opinion. So, anyways, I do recommend this foundation for you guys. It does have a very long wear test to it. I personally like it for my skin type. I am more on the drier combination side. So, if you are more oily or if you're more dry or anything like that, I feel like you still will love this foundation a lot. It gives you like that natural matte finish. It does not have any oil or anything like that in it. So, it's definitely a really nice foundation. I personally recommend this foundation a lot more than the Fenty foundation. I do like the Fenty foundation, don't get me wrong, but it is so matte that it almost looks super drying on me, and it emphasizes any type of lines I have on my face. It definitely emphasizes my textures. This one does not do that. This one gives me that smooth, blank canvas, and I absolutely love it. And this color, I mean, come on. That is like spot on color for me, and no foundation has done that for me in a very, very long time. So I very much recommend this foundation for you guys. It stayed on for over 8 hours, and I'm absolutely living for this. So I think Huda Beauty did the damn thing, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this foundation. That is the end of this video. Make sure you thumbs it up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the very near future. Love you. Bye.